That was so amazing. Thank you so much. Give him another round of applause, everybody. Here on our show today, we have Erix Logan. He is one of the famous Italian magicians all over the world. He's had great passion in magic ever since he was a little boy, and he's owned that art until now. His performances are famous worldwide. And Asia, especially Vietnam, is so lucky this time to have him to come here on his tour. And we at Talk Vietnam also have him on our show today, and he's going to share with us a little bit about his passion for magic, as well as some of his great performances. So everyone, give me a round of welcome for Erix Logan.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Erix, for being on the show. And of course, my first question I would totally want to ask you is, how did you prepare for that show just now? You know,
Okay.
Did it take a lot of time? What kind of preparations did you have to do?
Yes, it takes time, but then you go also by your, you are used to do it, so it's not impossible. I mean, it becomes part of a process of the show, the preparation. And then the best, of course, is the meeting with the audience.
What about the preparations way beforehand? You know, the coming up with the idea and getting all the logistics together.
This is a work in progress all the time. It's endless. Because for each illusion, I can tell you that might take average 6 months to 1 year to be staged completely. And sometimes it takes more. Sometimes 2 or 3 years. Sometimes a little bit less.
Well, there's one person that I always see accompanying you, your wife, Sarah, who's also, you know, part of your team, and she helps you out a lot. Well, your wife, Sarah, is in our studio today, and right now, let's talk to her a little bit about, you know, her process working with you and also her inspiration.
You want to make her appear, or she comes?
Why don't you make her appear?
I will do like this, wham, and she will appear in the audience.
Wow, hi, Sarah.
Hello, everybody.
This is Sarah, everybody.
Hello.
Sarah, so I've talked to Eric about, you know, how he's been working with you for over 10 years, and you guys basically work together in brainstorming and coming up with the show. So I want to ask you a little bit about, you know, how you get your inspiration for the show.
The thing that inspires me is the amazed face of children when they watch the show. It's very. I really love to watch them face doing wow, and that's my real inspiration.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how does that inspiration, you know, turn into something that's more tangible, into an actual show? Like, how does that contribute to your ideas at all?
It becomes energy, and through the feeling with Erix, we are able to give emotion. It's double sense energy. We give energy to the crowds, and the crowds give energy to us. So it's an exchange.
It's an exchange of energy. You mentioned something that's really interesting, I think. There's an exchange of energy between you and the audience, but I bet there needs to be that exchange between you and Erix as well when you guys perform. Let's talk about how you started out with magic. You know, how did you become interested in magic as a child?
I've always been interested in show and magic and circus. And when I was a kid, I was saying to everyone, I want to be a magician, I want to be a circus artist. I wanted to be a magician for all my time. And they were kidding on me. You magician, I'm doctor, I'm lawyer, I'm policeman. And they said, no, I'm a magician. And my parents, they were also smiling because they thought, okay, then he's going to grow up and change his mind. And the problem is that when I really grew up, I didn't change my mind. So for some time they stopped smiling because they wanted me to be a lawyer.
Wow.
But they respect my choice, actually, and they help in all the ways. So I always been focused to be a magician. When I was 15 years old, during the summertime, I went to a school of magic in Italy. There is an area like a beach area for the summer. And then I went there and I did my first show outdoor. So it was a great experience. And every year during the summer time, I was working for this company, theater company, and I did that for 3 years. And then I was 18 years old and I started on my own to build slowly, step by step, my illusion show. And from that, it was all a building and a rebuilding.
Rebuilding.
Yeah.
So in terms, you talked a little bit about nurturing your magician skills, and you've worked for theater companies. Are there any other ways that you nurtured your magic skills?
Yes, of course. Books. Another very, very important tool that I had. Now, because of the time changing, now books might have been replaced by DVDs.
Or the internet.
Or the internet. I am maybe too much traditional, but I think the books are still the most inspirational. So I suggest to anyone interested in magic today to go on the internet, because you have to satisfy your appetite, but then you have to, I think, mostly go to study book and the classic book that teach you the ABC of a magic beginner.
Magic is spectacular. It brings about special gifts. This is the only way for me to show my talent. That is how famous Italian musician Erix Logan described his passion. Erix Logan practiced and studied magic by himself at an early age, almost immediately feeling the need to experience the profession, leading himself to tour with a theater company when he was only 16 years old. Erix now has brought his show to more than 30 different countries around the world. His show explores the inner perception of the people, be them guided by their senses, their feelings, or their emotions. Erix was crowned the European Champion of Magic from Lido in Paris in 2007. He has also taken part in a huge variety of international magic festivals and received prestigious awards such as the Magic Mandarin d'Or, Maison de la Magie, and Robert Woodin Prize.
Now, you did mention that your magic career had a little bit of difficulties in the beginning. Your parents didn't agree with you. So what was the defining moment that you were like, yes, magic is the way to go for you?
It was after about 2 years after I began to be a professional magician. So I was about 20, 21 years old. I did already 2 or 3 years of shows. Of course, they were local shows in my area. I was not working around the world, of course. It was the beginning. But I felt by listening to the audience reaction that was my right path. I said, okay, I think I'm doing something that they like it. Because they were thanking me for the show. They say, oh, I like this, I like that. And they were happy after the performance. So I didn't want to give up to study, to become a lawyer like my family wanted. To be honest, I made my family happy because I was starting to study. So I went to the university.
Right.
I did the full year. I did the 6th test, which was the first year to become a lawyer in Italy. But I was still working and trying, practicing magic. So the second year of university, I got a contract on a cruise ship for 6 months. So I said to my parents, what shall I do? Can I go to do 6 months of work on a ship and do a nice experience? Because from Italy we were crossing through Greece, Turkey, and Morocco, all the Mediterranean area. So it was a nice experience for me that I was never going. So they say, okay, you can do it, but you must study at the same time law. So I was buying some books brought to me on board, and after 6 months I was opening only one for 2 pages. And so I went back and I said, listen, I made my choice. Now is enough. I don't go anymore to school, and I follow my career on
in magic.
In magic.
Now, I heard you say something before this. We talked a little bit, me and your wife also, that there's a story about fireflies that kind of has something to do with your decision to do magic. So tell us a bit more.
It might be. It might be. This is a real story. It's not a show business story. When I say in the theater to the audience this story, it's absolutely a real one. Please trust me. I was really on this summertime, at the beginning of summer, it was June, and we were invited to all the family. I think I was about 10 years old at the time. Yes.
Pretty young.
And we went to have dinner to this family. They have a fantastic garden. And all of a sudden I saw a small light flashing, and I was shocked because I said, I saw a light or not, because I was even not believing my eyes. And then I saw another light appearing and disappearing and moving, and it was a fantastic magical moment, probably the most magical moment of my youth. And I kept remembering this for all my life. And maybe this is the reason why I was inspired to become a magician. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that this idea this image was stuck in my mind.
And that image kind of was translated into one of your performances as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, how did that translation happen?
It happened throughout the years. So I discovered that there was not only the trick, but the story. The real story, the real life can be brought on a stage. So when I decided to build up a show which is not made only with tricks, but with real story, then this one was the first one that came to my mind, because it was really in my mind since ever.
Hanoi's Erix Logan's first stop right here in his tour of Vietnam. And it's right here that he has conquered the hearts of all the children and parent audiences. Let's find out more.
They say yes, I can throw the knife. Okay.
Both young and old audiences expressed joy to amazement during Erix Logan's magical night in Hanoi.
We have one card, which is...
Cảm giác thì cũng rất là thích thú, nhưng mà có lúc mà ông ấy nói ông ném con dao vào người mình thấy mình sợ, nhưng mà mình nghĩ là không vấn đề gì cả. Con gái thì nó thích nhưng mà nó rất sợ, lúc ba lên sân khấu mà ông ấy nói là ông sẽ phi con dao vào người, nó rất là sợ và nó khóc rất là to.
Erix Logan confides that he often introduces surprising elements to win the hearts of the audience. Instinct, heart, and mind are driven by the enchanting energy of this master of illusion. The Italian magician has a special love for children and is very happy to have children join his performances on stage, because for him, children are the driving force to better his magic tricks.
Khi Erix làm cháu rất bất ngờ và không hiểu chuối là thế nào. Chuối đã bảo cháu nhìn vào những cái dấu chấm đen mà cháu thấy không thể di chuyển được những dấu nào. Nhưng khi mà chú quay đi quay lại, nó đã biến đổi tất cả và cháu rất đúng. Cháu có ấn tượng nhất với cả cái điều với cả nhà thật ra chú làm nhiều điều cháu có ước mơ là về sau sẽ trở thành một nhà thật ra làm chuối.
The show not only enthralled the younger audiences, but also impressed their parents because of a meaningful message behind the tricks.
Cái câu mà Erix nói là trong cuộc sống bạn hãy sống cân bằng giữa những điều bản năng, giữa trái tim và những cảm xúc của bạn và trí tuệ, những gì bạn phải suy nghĩ. Và mỗi chúng ta hãy có những ước mơ, và trẻ em cũng có những ước mơ của trẻ em, và chúng ta hãy giúp các em nuôi dưỡng những ước mơ đấy. Bởi vì ước mơ và trẻ em là những cái điều kỳ diệu nhất của cuộc sống. Thì tôi thấy thông điệp rất là nhân văn và mang tính giáo dục cao.
Under the auspices of the Youth Theatre and a Dong Do Show, during his first tour in Vietnam this time, Erix Logan has scheduled 15 performances in Hanoi, Haiphong, and Quảng Ninh until June the 16th.
Now let's talk about some of your memories in Vietnam. That's off the stage.
Yeah.
I heard that you went on the street and tried some of the local drinks.
Oh,
local beer.
yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that experience.
Yes. We got the Hanoi beer That was a very, very nice experience. At night, quite a small street actually. We were sitting outside, everyone with a lot of bars, having a beer. I find like a very, very relaxing moment, a moment of aggregation between people. I could feel the energy, positive energy.
I've heard from you, and I've also heard from your wife, that you get inspiration from the audience. The audience's applause.
Definitely.
But are there any difficulties that you think, what are some of the difficulties of being on stage for you?
Well, for me, being on stage is actually quite a natural process now, after so many years and so many days and hours of performing. But yes, the most difficult moment is when something not natural happens. So, for example, when one light doesn't light at the right time, or when a curtain doesn't open at the right time, this is a problem because it breaks the timing of the show and the connection with the audience. That breaks the magical atmosphere. This for me is a big problem because I have to rebuild the atmosphere from the beginning with the audience.
I see.
And this is very inconvenient for me. It's a big work.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that's the most difficult moment on stage.
That's the most difficult moment on stage. What about difficult moments off the stage? You know, life as a magician. Are there any challenging moments?
Difficult moment off the stage is when you have to ship the props, and maybe you arrive at the airport and the prop is not arrived, and you have a TV show that night.
Yes.
So this kind of stress. This is very stressy, actually. Being on the road with the props, and we usually travel with tons of materials.
I see. I totally understand what that means. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of stress
That's
on
very
the road.
stressy. Yeah, that's the most difficult.
So, what do you think made you so successful in this art?
It might seem strange for a magician, but the most successful moment is when you depart from the tricks, when you take some steps away from the illusions, and you play your role of a magician on stage. Then whatever you do is another thing. Even a small trick becomes a miracle because it's the way that you have built your acting capabilities and the capabilities to catch the audience and bring the audience inside your world. So when you have your world inside, your magical world inside, I think you are a real magician.
I see.
Beside the truth. Now I need a volunteer for the next card trick. I need a girl. Someone? She raised the hand first, so she's the one. Please. Now it's time to do card tricks. So, you know, the card, of course, I show you that all cards are different. Spades, diamonds, hearts, all different cards, right? Okay. Now we are going to shuffle once, like this. Okay, and I'm going to cut the deck in two, like this. And now everything is set. Shuffle and cut. I run my finger from bottom to top. Just tell me stop when you want, and I will stop. Stop here? Okay, take the card. Show the card to the audience. Don't tell me the card. Remember the card. Put the card back. Okay, now take all the cards with you and shuffle. See? Professional again? Professional magician. Very good, that's very good. Okay, now I will try to find your card. I'm a professional magician too, so it's not very difficult. Because I open the cards in a fan like this, and now you help me. Because you must drive my finger with the power of the mind and tell me, you stop me when you feel we are on the right card. Okay?
Stop.
Stop immediately?
Yeah.
Oh, here or here?
Here.
Here. Okay. She knows everything. She is the magician. And this is the card chosen at the beginning. Thank you. It's not? It's not. Okay, well, this is a little mistake. Of course, it can happen to everyone. So I put the wrong card in my bag here, okay? Now, again, let me see. Can I try a second time? Because the first time a mistake can happen. Okay, so I open again the card in a fan and I run my finger. And again, you tell me stop when you feel it's right. Stop here or here? Here, okay? Here. Okay, which card? This one or this one? All right, this one. Now this must be the card we have chosen. And the miracle for today. Thank you very much. it's not the right card. She's very happy about that. You feel? She, oh, excuse me. Okay, I put the second one here. And, okay, I try one more time for the third time and the last time. Well, excuse me for this problem, of course, but in a live show it can happen. But now we know. We know we arrive at the end with a big success, because I run my finger and you again stop here. Sure? Okay, are you really sure? Because we are on national television, we don't want to make too many mistakes. You sure? Okay, I trust you. I trust you. Okay, my great assistant here say that this is the right card, the card chosen at the beginning, and now I really trust her. Thank you very much. That is possible. I want to cry, but excuse me. Okay, I put this one again back here in my bag, the wrong one. But I have an idea. I have to ask the help of magic and also the help of my great partner here. Would you mind to give like this blow on this bag? Magically, the bag is turning into something which is the right card, the Queen of Hearts. Thank you very much. You are doing really great. Thank you a lot.
Now, do you remember your first ever solo performance on stage at all?
Oh yes, remember.
How did that go?
Well, I would say that at that time I was happy. But when I watch the tape, because it was a VHS tape at the time, I think it was a disaster. But I was happy at the beginning because it was my very first show. And it was a very small, in a school. But it was okay. It was a long show anyway, 1 hour. So I was crazy because I never did a show, and instead of doing 5 minutes or 10 minutes of magic, I did 1 hour of magic.
1 hour of magic.
Yeah. So
one show or several tricks?
One show, but they were all tricks
All
together.
tricks together.
There was no show, actually.
I see. So what's the most daring piece you've performed so far? What's your most daring trick?
Well, it's probably the passing through a turbo jet. Yeah.
Wow.
It's an illusion that I'm planning to bring in Vietnam for the my next tour. And because now we are still perfecting a few things, but it's going to work great.
And the jet is turning.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness!
There is a big 747 Boeing jet engine, and it's so huge. It's very big, and it turns, and it sucks me inside.
And is that something that's potentially dangerous to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I risk my life, really.
Oh wow.
Of course, we try to take all the safety measurement possible, because it would be foolish to take a risk. But still, there are some potential risks inside.
Now let's talk about your tours. You've traveled around the world in a total of how many countries?
Oh, I worked in probably 35 countries until now.
35 countries. So among all those countries, Italy included,
yes.
What's one of your most memorable experiences?
I have a nice experience in Italy. I have nice experience in the United States when I worked in Las Vegas for my very first time. It was touching, because when you grew up, Las Vegas is your idol. I mean, it's the place where every magician dreams to go to work. Then you go to work in Las Vegas and you discover that maybe it's not so magical like it seems, but it's okay. I mean, it's good to take consciousness of something. I love being in Brazil.
Brazil?
And, yes. In France, I did much television, and I like it. In Turkey, I have many friends, and I got some nice moments. In Korea, I spent 1 year working, and that was also very important.
Wow.
And now Vietnam is now my last one. And now, from now on, Vietnam is also another country which I will bring a very nice memory with me.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It's true. Now I want a male assistant. I need a kid here. Someone that loves Harry Potter. Who loves Harry Potter? You like Harry Potter? Yeah, you like Harry Potter, of course. Said yes. All right. Big applause for him then. So, sit down, please. If you need a help, I can help you to sit here, please. Come on. All right. We made it. Now, I want to see if he looks like Harry Potter. Let me see. Excuse me. Oh. And now we do more, because here is the magic vest. Okay, hands stay here. The other one. Perfect. Ta-da-da. Very elegant. At the camera. That's a big smile. Yes! It works! And so, he's a good magician, but still, at the beginning, he needs a little help. And I'm ready here for the help. And musica, maestro.
Non ti insegnerò quello che già sai, io scommetto che li straccerai. Il maestro è qua, ti benedirà, puoi esibirti, sbizzarrirti, è il momento tuo. Lanciati così, butta fuori il meglio adesso sì. L'anima ce l'hai, conta su di lei, puoi sfidare il mondo adesso o mai. La mia vita scorre mentre guardo te, quella voglia di riscatto so cos'è e nessuno può comprenderti di più, nessun altro prova ciò che provi tu. Io ti guardo e sento che puoi farcela, maledetta sorte puoi sconfiggerla, non ti lascerò senza alibi io no, punta in alto credi a me, guarda avanti. Impariamo.
And thank you.
I want to ask you a little bit about something that may be inspiring to little kids. You know, what would you say to a little boy or a little girl who's aspiring to be a magician?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, if they believe in what they do, they have to do it, never stop. And because at the beginning can be difficult. And sometimes someone can be discouraged to continue. So my suggestion is find your talent, and when you think that this is your real talent, go with it, continue, because before or later the talent will repay you. Is a law of universe. The problem is when you insist to do something that is not your talent, is not what, then is another thing. But you can. There are elements to be tested, like we have said before. My very first show, I got a reaction from the audience, and they were positive. So there was these messages that were saying to me, you have a talent to do this thing. You don't have a talent to become a lawyer. So I stopped to become a lawyer.
You only read 2 pages of a book.
Yeah. So they have to listen to their first performance, the reaction of the audience, and try to canalize their talent accordingly to what the audience say to them. Then practice, practice, practice. Don't copy the other, Never copy other magicians. Try to find your way, because, as I said before, you become a real magician only when you get away from the tricks and you have your magic inside. So find the magic that is inside you. Try to find the motivation, which is very important. And then study with books and DVD and internet. Go to magic convention. There are a lot of magic happenings, gatherings around the world at any time, because it's a way to exchange ideas with other magicians. And the confrontation is an important thing of life.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And do you have any message towards your audience?
To the audience?
To the audience.
Yeah, to the audience is the big message is to try to keep believing in magic, because there is magic in life.
New messages
there are
each time.
So many things that can be translated to people through the magic. You see, there are magic of colors, magic of numbers. You see, there are, you see, we belong to 4 characters. All people in the whole world, they can be classified in 4 characters, which are the character of the season.
Summer,
So-
spring, fall, winter.
Exactly. So one of the next show that we are producing will be on the 4 season.
I see. I see.
And people will find themselves in the season. So now I don't tell you everything, because otherwise, because we even don't know, we still have to work, we are working, but we have this kind of, in Italian we say canovaccio, which is the draft of the show. And then we have to make the show. It takes a couple of years.
I see. So the audience experience your message not through language, but through the experience itself, right?
Through the magic.
Through the magic.
Yes.
All right, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about popular magic genres, and what's the current trend in popular magic genres right now in the world?
In the world, well, I think there are, magic is evolving, is interesting, especially on television. Thanks to the satellite and digital TV, now there are many new magicians that propose some TV show over the TV and the internet, and they have new ideas. I must only see one problem in that, which is we must be careful as magicians not to use too much the help of TV. And when I saying TV, I say video editing. Because I think there is magic for TV and magic for the stage.
I see.
And they are different. They must be different, because the meaning, the means is different. People sitting in a row on a stage are not the same that when you sit in your room at home watching on your screen. It's different. So the magic must be designed in a different way. But it must be honest and real magic anyway. We cannot use
Video editing to make the bunny disappear or something.
Exactly, because this would be magic. It would be like a science fiction movie. It can be Star Trek, or it can be Back to the Future. But this is not magic. This is a movie. So magicians don't have to make movie. They have to make magic and respect the policy of our art, which is a real performance of trick. We have our own TV show in post-production right now in Italy. So when we go back the end of June, we finish the post-production, and we also have a project to develop this pilot, which is a 0, in a TV show, which might be of a few episodes.
Oh, wow.
And it will air all over the world. Who knows? Maybe also here.
Oh, so a day before his first official performance in Hanoi, Erix Logan had a chance to visit the National Hospital for Pediatrics. And it's here that he and his wife presented to the children right here a very magical and special gift. Let's take a look.
At the hospital's meeting hall, musicians Erix Logan and his wife brought warmth from a distant country, Italy, with a young audience here treated to the magic repertoire with hilarious and mesmerizing appeal. His wife, singer Sarah Maya, gave the best wishes to the child patients and presented 350 gifts to them.
những cái đứa trẻ mà nó đầy sự thiệt thòi, bị bệnh tật, nằm trong bệnh viện, tưởng như là bị cách xa với xã hội bên ngoài, thì hôm nay lại đón nhận cái tình cảm của Erix Logan. Và chúng tôi coi cái thái độ, coi cái sự thiện chí của Erix Logan đến với trẻ em ở trong bệnh viện như một cái sự hết sức nhiệt tình và vui vẻ này chính là cái đo được cái tâm hồn nghệ sĩ thực sự của một cái nghệ sĩ lớn như là Erix Logan.
Những cái diễn viên, những người ca sĩ mang đến và trao những món quà làm ấm lòng cho những người bệnh nhân đang nằm tại bệnh viện nhi, làm giảm đi những nỗi đau về bệnh tật, để cho các gia đình bớt đi những stress trong cuộc sống và cho các bé có niềm vui trong cuộc sống, và để chúc sức khỏe cho các bé được hòa nhập với cuộc sống sau này.
Erix Logan said, performing in Vietnam is like performing at home. He also revealed that he would return to Vietnam in early July this year to entertain more local children and take part in more charity activities.
Now let's talk about your experience in Vietnam, in Hanoi. I know you and your wife went to the National Hospital of Pediatrics to give some presents to the children there. Why did you come up with such an idea, and what was your purpose, message?
Yes, well, this is first something that we want to do. We do it every time we go on tour, and it's important because not all the kids have the chance to come to watch the show, because some of them in that moment they are sick, so they must have treatment in the hospital. So it's a must to go there to say hello and do a little show for them. And then the message there is that this is like giving them an energy or a moment to say, okay, now we are here, you can do it, you can make it, and then you can exit the hospital, of course. Mm-hmm. This is what we try. But even if it's only a moment of happiness, we are happy to do it.
Yeah, what a great thing you guys are doing, you know, and especially for magic tricks, you know, showing them to small little kids, I think it kind of gives them some kind of hope that a miracle can happen, or something that's out of the reality can happen too.
Exactly. The hope is very important to get well soon. Yeah.
Let's go to something that's a little bit personal to you. I've looked on your website. I see there's a section that I really love. I love the name. It's called Logan's Slogan. Yeah. Right. So let's talk about some of the quotes that you have there. Some of them are really, really good, I think. Now, the first one that caught my attention is, the art of magic doesn't consist in creating miracles, rather in persuading the audiences that miracles are indeed happening.
Yeah.
Do you believe in miracles, and how do you create miracles for people?
Yeah. Okay. I don't believe in miracles as themselves, because or I believe in impossible, in the natural, as I said before. But then we have to recreate that miracle. But for instance, the firefly, it's a recreation of miracle in that sense, because the miracle is the firefly, but not a miracle. You know what? Not a miracle.
Not something
supernatural.
Exactly.
But something so miraculously natural that we don't have expectation. We just have we say, well. So I want to recreate that miracle, which is natural miracle.
I see.
For instance, I'm thinking now. Remember when in many countries, in Canada also it happens. There are many birds that fly together,
right,
and they do amazing movement, and there are millions of birds moving together at the same time, and they never go one against the other. And it looks like black clouds, big clouds moving, and so this is a miracle for me. It's a real natural miracle, because no one, even today, the science, they were not able to explain how all these millions of birds can communicate between them and give each other the information not to hit each other, and why they move all together at the same perfect synchronization time, because synchronization is a miracle of life. For example, synchronization, there is not an explanation yet to the synchronization of this movement. So this kind of thing.
So what you do is you're trying to create some kind of miracle that's similar to that natural miracle.
To the natural.
Exactly, exactly. So there's another quote, which I also like, is nobody can claim to surprise others if he can't every day surprise himself.
Oh, yes.
So how do you surprise yourself every day?
Every day I must surprise myself, because otherwise I don't have the magic inside me. I surprise myself in many ways, but for instance, I've seen many kids in these days in Hanoi. We met because after the show we exit. We want to go toward the people and shaking hands and meeting people. This is something that we do all the time, and we love it. And this is a matter for me to get the amazement, to be surprised every day. When I see some reaction they are shy because they don't want to take a picture, then they decide to take it, or they come to me and they say a word or a smile. It can be simple things. Or I can be amazed when I study, when I read books. It's another way. So we go from the very simple to a little bit more something to the research.
Exactly.
Of amazement.
So your amazement comes from what you consciously do, like reading, and also from external sources like your audience.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, Erix, for being on our show. I hope you have a great time in Hanoi, a great time in Vietnam, and also I hope that you continue to bring your magic to other people.
Thank you very much for the opportunity you gave to all of us. Thanks a lot.
And I hope that you're even more successful in your career, in your passion, because your career stems from your passion as well.
Absolutely. We will never stop.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Erix.
you.
So that's it for this edition of Talk Vietnam. Thank you for watching the show, and until next time, we'll see you.
Ascolta il tuo maestro, il mondo è questo. Prima l'arte e la passione, dopo il resto. Premiami se puoi, un bel saggio e poi un applauso a tutti noi che impariamo